Hey, Jimmy here. Business name unofficially is Send It Delivery Co. Officially, it's Jimmy Riggs LLC and has been since March or April of 2021, I believe. I want to invite you to follow along in this journey, and I'm not specifically only talking about the journey to Long Island, New York. That's going to happen between tonight, right now, as I leave Michigan, and tomorrow, hopefully before about 5 p.m. Towing this frame and transmission and engine with the Honda Odyssey van. But I mean more generally in my journey of trying to build this business for once and for all. Obviously, like I said, my LLC has existed since 2021. I had no idea what I was doing. And I had some beginner's luck or something. I don't know if you could call it luck, but when I did start transporting stuff, moving stuff around the country in 2020, before I had an LLC or anything, it was the height of the pandemic, and people were buying stuff like their life depended on it. There were stimulus checks. There was angst. Angst plus stimulus checks equals a lot of boats, a lot of four-wheelers, a lot of fun things with motors so that people could get outside and enjoy their lives that they weren't sure was ever going to be the same again. And so there was a lot of stuff to move, and people were willing to pay money to do it. And so I happened upon this weird niche where I could and did use a van. I started off with a Ford Aerostar van, which was a pretty epic vehicle, honestly. 5,000 pound towing capacity, big, lots of luggage space, cool van. And still flew way under the radar and didn't look like a commercial vehicle at all. So then the real world happened, and it became a confusing several years because I had no idea how to transition from this like weird lucky thing that really worked well and where I stumbled upon something that worked really well very quickly to that's not necessarily what it's actually like. So today it's been almost 1 month since I purchased this van, and that was kind of a starting over point for me. And I won't tell the whole story, but it was definitely very much a starting over point. Nothing had worked out with anything else that I had going, and like I said, I won't go into a ton of detail, but I am and basically did start completely over with a Honda Odyssey minivan as my vehicle. Obviously that's part of a bigger story, but I think that was a good point to just say, like, let's just start the story here. Let's start the story over here. And then at some point in the future, I can backtrack a little bit and share more of that. But what I like about this is that this is kind of how you might start if you had no experience at all and not even necessarily a good vehicle to use. This is a grocery getter. And I literally started day one with this vehicle was getting groceries, right? I was actually using DoorDash, and sometimes DoorDash is literally just grabbing groceries for people, basically. So and that's what you could do, you know, if you wanted. And I'm not suggesting this at all. Like, please maybe watch my channel before you go and do something like this. You'll see how hard it is, and how there's a lot of reasons not to do it, but I'm in it. Here I am, I'm in it. So, you know, follow along for a little bit. Don't jump right into something like this. But the good thing is that if you do, you could jump into it with your own grocery getter. And that's kind of the cool thing about the way that I've had to start the story back over, is I'm doing it in the way that anybody could do it with any vehicle, really. Before this, I had a Toyota Corolla, which doesn't really feel like it built up to this, just because I actually made a lot of money with that car, but I spent a lot of money with that car, and that's one of the classic pitfalls of any job where you have big numbers coming in. Oh, all of a sudden I can afford to do this and that. So it doesn't feel like that car really led to this van, except circumstantially or happenstantially or coincidentally, because the simply what the car made didn't really contribute financially to purchasing the van. But that's just to say, yeah, you could even start with a Corolla. But let's start the story here with the minivan. I just want to invite you to follow along for it, and I will try to keep the content coming on my page pretty consistently. It's also an exhausting job. I got in at 3 a.m. this morning. It's almost 11 p.m. now. I had scheduled the pickup for this item at 5 p.m. I got there at 5:30, and I communicated with the person at the pickup end about the fact that I was running a little bit late. He was impressed that I got there, that first of all I communicated and I got there within half an hour of the planned time. He said that's really actually very, very good as far as what my typical experience is with transporters, and I have to agree with him. I hear that all the time. So half an hour late with communication is actually not what I aim for, but better than most. And then I had to wire these lights onto this trailer myself. That hadn't been done yet. I wanted to do it today. I did do it today, but I had to do some of it after pickup because I got a late start this morning for obvious reasons. And now it's 11 p.m. I expected to be 5 hours into this drive, and I'm only like an hour and a half into the drive. But that's how it goes. And I'm kind of making my excuse up front for why I might not always keep up with my daily video diary, which I'm aiming to do and trying to do. Sometimes it's very hard to find the energy at the end of the day to also throw together the footage from the day and even give it just a brief edit to make it a little bit more palatable for you as a viewer. But I'm going to try to do that because here I am asking you to follow along, like and subscribe, and I'd like to give you some halfway decent content in exchange for that. So I'll do my best. I'm gonna go ahead and keep moving. Thanks for watching, and catch you later.